Good afternoon, Brockport Fantasy Football League. Feels like I've been casting away and I haven't sent my voice through your static waves in a while, but I'm back. We've got a special one today. I'm thinking, fuck the last week of the season because we already know who made it, who was in the consolation bracket, so who the fuck cares. This time around, I'm going to do a special one. I'm going to do a playoff outlook. I'm going to do a consolation outlook. And, it's just going I'm going to freeball it. I'm going to see, I don't give a fuck what I do in this episode, but here we go. Starting off in the consolation bracket, we've got our first matchup between the 11 and 12 seed. We've got Sean. No surprise here, the last seed in the league, the worst team in the league, 3-11, stopped setting his lineup after week 10. Facing off against another 3-11 team in Barclays Premier League. Just, Jerry, I really gotta say, dude, I kind of fucked your season. I swept the rug right out from under your team with that Kamara trade. And ever since that, you weren't right. And, you're one of the better fantasy managers in our league. You've shown you can be consistent and be a winner. So to see 3-11 from you is, really fucking surprising. But, Sean, no surprise here. So let's take a look at the matchup. So we've got Sean projected at 109 or 105, something like that. Yeah, 109. Jerry's still got to pick up a kicker. I mean, let's take a look at the benches. Yeah, so, Jerry will be putting back Terry McLaurin, probably putting in Jacoby or Zay Jones. So this could be a very, very interesting matchup because I'm assuming Jerry's going to probably be projected around 112, 113. And Sean's at 109, 110. Both these teams suck. Both these teams consistently put up 75 points. So I would not be surprised if this is you know what? Fuck it. Let's do an over-under. This matchup, I'm saying the line is going to be set at 160 total points. I'm saying under. So let me know what you guys think of each matchup in the comments. I'll do over-under lines for a couple of these. So we'll say 160 for Barclays Premier League and the Taliban. I just don't expect that, to really be anything, popping off the page. That's going to be a really uninteresting pooper bowl. Looking on to the other matchup. Let's see, we've got Josh versus Kobe's Heldy. And to be honest with you, I think Josh got this one in the bag. I honestly think if you go roster for roster, Kobe's Helly is probably the worst in the league. It started at draft day. Carl, shouldn't have let K-Raf draft for you. That was the most embarrassing thing I've ever seen. And he folded under pressure. He's never live drafted before. He didn't know that, people draft out of order and then you got to make a split decision like that. And you get pressured into picks, dude. It's a part of the live draft. So he got pressured. Kobe's Helly's probably out Damian Pierce this week. Looks like Mike Boone as well. Cordero Patterson kind of fucking sucks. And you've been sitting on Odell all season. And it was always when Odell comes back. And you're not going to see him until the actual playoffs, my guy. So Darren Waller sitting there on your IR whole whole fucking year. He sat on your IR like a bench. So, with that being said, let's take a look at Ruben's team. I mean, this kid is up to something, you know. He played the long game and the short game. So, you guys realize he traded for Cooper Kupp. Obviously out for the season. But you think about it, next year it's a keeper league. Cooper Kupp is probably going to be his keeper. If he keeps Cooper Kupp, it's going to be a 4th round keeper. Because Cooper Kupp was kept by Durs in the 5th round last year. If he's kept again, he goes up a round. So it's the 4th round. So not only are you getting arguably the best wide receiver in fantasy in the 4th round, but Ruben's playing for first pick overall. So, Ruben could be potentially rostering 2 top 5 players. So when it's all said and done, I mean, Ruben, you're giving yourself a shot for glory for, years to come. And this is what dynasties are made of, are moves like the one you made. So you were a playoff lock every single year. This is the first year ever you haven't made the playoffs, and you're making it a productive one when you're not in the playoffs. So hats off to you. It's probably because you're home and your dad's in your ear fucking every second of the day, so he's able to give you picks and give you advice. So, yeah. Alright, let's go on to the actual fucking playoffs. Alright. Now this is going to get interesting. I mean, over-underline for Ruben Kobe's-Helly. That one I think could be more interesting because Kobe's-Helly has this fucking, I don't even know. It's not like a superpower, but it's like, I don't know. They somehow managed to get the worst out of every single team. So I'm going to set that one at like 190 because I could see both of those teams putting up like 87 to 95 points each. Ruben's shown he can pop, though. Not last week. He put up 66 last week, but Ruben's shown he can pop. So, Sean trying to call me in between a fucking power rankings video. Get out of here, dirty ass boy. Alright, let's work on the actual playoffs now. So, let's do my matchup first. You know what? Fuck it. Me and TJ. And I know I mentioned this in the chat. TJ and I only played each other this year when the Dolphins play the Bills. So that was week 3 we played each other, and now we play each other in the playoffs, and it's Dolphins, Bills, and Buffalo. We will be there. On paper, this is probably the most even matchup in the playoffs. I mean, not much separates us. I mean, you look at the teams, not much separates us. He's got, really good wide receivers. Kirk, JJ, Olave. Great trio. I got Reek, Godwin. I mean, you look at the tight ends. George Kittle has been shit pretty much all year. Cole Kmet is meh, so that one's a wash. Pollard's been a revelation, so I'm taking Pollard at the flex over Olave. Reek JJ is pretty much as even as you can get. Kirk Godwin, I think Kirk has more pop potential, but Godwin's just Mr. Consistent. He's double digits every single week. You can look at his stat log. Every single week, that guy logs double digits. Blowout fucking loss to Brock Purdy and the 49ers, and he still got his double digits. So, I would say slight edge to Christian Kirk, but I'm chilling with Godwin because I know what he's going to give me. The running backs is where it gets interesting. I think Jacobs could easily go off for 40 and just, totally fuck me. Or The Raiders could pull the Raiders against the Pats and do absolutely nothing. So, Kamara hasn't been really consistent. I mean, the only thing that's given me hope is he's the playoff boogeyman. Shout out to Carson for that name, but he is the boogeyman. He tends to go off in the playoffs when people need him the most. And that's why I rostered him, because I knew I was going to be in the playoffs, and I knew I needed some guy that had the potential to put me on his back. And that's Alvin fucking Kamara. Sucks getting Kyler, having his ACL blown out literally a day before the playoffs start. But Dak to the moon. I think this matchup is going to be a lot closer than the projections might say it is. I'm going to probably set this over-under at 260. I think 260. I'm going under in the Kobe Helly Rubin game. I'm going over in the 260 for TJ and I. So I think both teams have the potential to score a little more than expected, and I think we'll go over that 260. All right. Let's go to Skylar and York, the 1 versus the 7. 1 versus 8. My bad. A little dyslexia kicking in. I mean, it's tough. I'm sitting here thinking about all the possibilities, and I'm thinking about 1 seed curse. I'm thinking about Yorkies the Cowboys. I'm thinking about both these teams being serial chokers. I'm thinking about Kenny Walker at Skylar's flex, and Kenny Walker can't stay healthy. Dalvin Cook's hit or miss. Derrick Henry's 1 cut away from fucking ending his season. You don't have a wide receiver 2 outside of Mike Will, and Mike Will is either 30 bomb or 2 points. You look at Yorkie's team, I mean, it's fucking like that guy in SpongeBob with the crutch and the fucking bandages around himself walking out, like the chocolate guy, dude. He's like, that's your lineup, bro. It's Huntley, McKinnon, Zonovan, Knight. That's your 3. That's the, like, come on, bro. But Yorkie did this against Durs and put up 150. Hato did this against me and put up 160 or whatever. So I would probably say, if I would have set an over-under total, 250 is probably fair. 250 is probably fair. And I think this could easily exceed that. I think you guys could potentially hit 300. So, with that being said, Yorkie, you got nothing to lose, kid. You're the 8th seed. You're the Cowboys. This is everything you wanted. You wanted to be the underdog. You wanted the Cinderella story. You wanted to be low-key all year, under the radar. You got your wish. Here you are. Go take it. So, go get it, York. Come on. Let's move on to Hazel and Hato. Briggs Hall roommates. Shall I say, actual roommates. You slept together. You bled together. You guys, one slept on the couch when the other was, had somebody over. You guys did a lot together. And now it comes down to this matchup. And 8-6, as even as it gets. I mean, I don't know what else to say than, this is what you guys wanted. You guys talk the most shit every single time you guys are with each other. Jets Giants, whether it's Jet Life or it's the Giants Stadium, you know, who's shittier, who's better. Between you guys, you know, it is everything. So, I think this matchup has the potential to shock the world. I think this matchup has the potential to be the highest scoring matchup. But I don't think it's going to be the highest scoring matchup. So that's why I'm setting the total over under at 240 because, 8-6, two teams, solid. Not much more to say. Just, I had to build up the scenario a little bit. But the teams, looking at fantasy-wise, they're all right. Both got their advantages. Hazel's got a great wide receiver trio. Hato's got McCaffrey. McCaffrey could put up 50 and beat you single-handedly. So, I'm saying 240. I'm taking the over in the York and Skylar game, and I'm taking the over in the 240 for Hazel and Hato. All right, and this gets to our last matchup. And that is, again, couldn't have dreamt it any better. Couldn't have written it up any better. Couldn't have wanted any more. Skylar, you fucking wanted this guy so much, and you didn't get him. And now, the Sons of Samuel has to play him. Carson. Oh, how you built a fantasy legacy. Oh, how you built a fantasy monster this year. I meant to say Skylar didn't want him. Sorry. But, Carson, you look at your roster, Burrow, Connor, Eckler, Hop, Waddle, Hawk. There's no tail off. I see this roster floor probably at 120, 125. And then, your bench. You take a look at the bench. T. Higgins, Gabe Davis, Rashad White, Lenny. If anything were to happen to my precious AJ or Aaron Jones, you got AJ Dillon. So, your face and your butt, buddy. Durs. The amount of trades you guys made last year, and I don't think you guys made a single trade this year. Whether that was in spite, whether that was in fear, or whether that was just an odd coincidence, nobody will know. But we take a look at the Sons of Samuel, and again, Durs, you built a strong squad. Losing Debo hurts a fuck ton. Because now you got to slot Cortland Sutton in at 2, and then you're running out either Jahan Dotson or possibly Damian Harris because Ramondre's hurt. Damn, I'm sorry, kid. I don't know. If there were money lines, I'm taking President of Iceland. I'm putting a hundo on it. But over under, I'm probably going to set this total at 245. And I'm going to say under. Just because I think Durs's team is going to implode. So, with that being said, that concludes my consolation bracket and playoff power rankings over-under totals. I don't know what the fuck I did. So, hope you guys enjoy the content, and I don't know. I'm still up in the air on whether I want to do one more episode for the season or not. So, you guys let me know. Peace.